Hey guys, how's it going? Hope you all are doing well and you're killing it in Red Dead. And in this video, I'm going to talk about the top 5 tips that every new player needs to know. The top 5 things every new player should do right at the start of the game when they're thrust into the open world. Not the story, but when they're thrust into the open world. So let's get right into the video. Alright guys, I made a couple of guide and tip videos for beginners that are jam-packed with a lot of information. Also in the comment sections below those videos, a lot of veteran players drop their insight as well. So go check those videos out. But in this one, I'm going to just give you a couple of quick things that I think that every new player needs to do right at the start of the open world portion of the game. And again, like all of my other videos, any veteran players that have any insight or any of the tips that I may miss, drop them in the comment section below so we can help these guys get off to the best start that they can in Red Dead Online. Alright guys, these tips are in no particular order. There's no one that is higher than the other. They're all that I think things that you guys should do as soon as you're into the open world. And the first one will be turn on defensive mode. Once you jump into the game, you're going to be right in the PvP and anyone can attack you and kill you, and it's really hard to get your footing in the game, especially when you're running into higher players who are taking you out. And a lot of them is not their fault. They just assume that if you're inoffensive, you're in PvP. And, you know, that's how the Wild West goes. So the first thing you want to do is you want to hit left on the D-pad. And you want to bring up this free roam option. You want to go all the way down to online options. And you want to go right here. And it'll be on offensive. You want to switch it over to defensive. And this puts a little bit of protection on you. You'll see a little note that says it's activating in like 30 seconds. And then, boom, you'll hit a little sound that lets you know that defensive mode is active. Now the important thing about defensive mode, it prevents other players from, you know, locking onto you and you not really shown in their area. They got to be really close to you to be seen. So defensive mode is one of the first things that I think that players should do. The next thing you need to do is you need to move your camp. Go to your camp and move it. It'll probably be close to a high populated area where a lot of action is going around. You just move your camp, and it's the same thing. You go into that free roam. You go down to camps and properties, go to your camp, boom, and then you could, you know, select the size and location, move it to wherever you would like to move it. There are a couple of spots that are like low activity, like McFarland's Ranch near that area, so it's like in Higgins Steed, or Emerald Ranch. So you want to get into like one of those lower populated areas that has a lot of animals that are around, but you won't run into many players. So that's like the next thing you need to do is move your camp, because you're going to be thrust into a camp that's like near a lot of people. And you'll be like, yo, what am I supposed to do? The next thing you need to do is you really need to hunt, because you need those resources. You need to be able to build up some money, you know, and I actually build up some food to be able to survive. So you need to hunt. And you want to hunt as soon as possible. So you hit both of the L3 and R3 down, and I'll bring up Eagle Eye, and it'll let you know anything that's in the area. These little scents will let you know what animal was in the area, and you can kind of track it. And anything that's glowing is an animal that you can hunt. Now sometimes they're horses. You really can't hunt them. It's not much you can do with them. I mean, you can kill them, but there's really nothing you can do with those. So anything that's glowing, that's what you can hunt. Take your gun out and shoot them. Don't really worry about trying to get perfect kills right away. I think the first few moments you just need to hunt to be able to get some resources, and then after that, then you start going for the perfect kill so you can get those higher pelt levels so you can sell them and get mucho dinero. The next thing you need to do is you need to pick a role to participate in. The roles are a great way to level up and level up fast. So you need to pick a role and jump right into it. All of the roles have ways to make money and the game XP, so you really can't go wrong with any role that you pick. But you just want to make sure that you pick a role and start participating in that role, because not only while you're doing the role you're getting XP and things like that, you have daily challenges that you'll be completing that goes towards getting, you know, golden XP as well. So it's like killing 2 birds with 1 stone. So jump into a role as soon as you can. I mean, they do cost some gold, so just pick one, whichever one you feel like you want to get started doing. I mean, it's gonna be your journey, so I can tell you like this is the one I like, but it could be boring to you. So just go through them and pick which one you like and start at it. The most important thing is about having fun in the role that you're starting. If you feel like it's a grind and it's boring, it's gonna be hard for you to complete that role. So pick a role that you're gonna enjoy and just go at it and have fun. The next thing you need to do is you need to complete the main story. So once you put into the open world, the main story is not done. There are still things you can do. You have to travel to different points to be able to finish the story. So travel to those points and knock the main story out, because that main story is going to give you the most XP that you can get early on. So it's really important that you stack and get as much XP as possible, especially with you being really low. So complete that story mission, because it will help you a lot in the long run. The next thing that you need to do, and it's like it's gonna be tempting for you to do, but you need to hold off on, it is starting a posse. Starting a posse kinda in some way puts a target on your back, because there are challenges that other players get, like myself and any other player that's participating in PvP, that you get by taking on other posse. So if you start a posse and it's just you, you're going to run into another posse where it's going to be a full posse, and they're going to come after you, because that's a challenge in the game. We get, XP and rewards for, pretty much going at each other. So don't start a posse. As tempting as it's going to be, do not start a posse unless you have a full posse of people that's going to ride with you and back you up when they come around. Because even if you're in defensive mode, like when you're in posses and you come near each other, we can still attack you. We just can't lock on to you. So if you're going to run into those people in the posse that are really good at aiming and shooting, you're going to have some problems. So don't put, especially if you put on a starter posse and you have that star on you, meaning you're a leader of the posse and it's just you, you're going to have some problems. And be like, why is everybody coming after me? Because he started a posse and you're the leader of the posse, and I get points for taking out the leader of a posse. So don't start a posse unless you are ready to take on everything that comes with being in a posse and you have enough people in your posse to be able to back you up. The next thing you need to do is you need to, the minute that you can take advantage of the telegrams and do a call to arms, you need to do call to arms. Those are a great way to gain XP. They're fun. You can gain XP and gold and money. So those are a great way to get XP, get that money that you may need. And like I said, and they're fun and they're long. So you could take a couple of hours doing a call to arms. So the minute you could take advantage of call to arms, there are going to be a lot of side missions that you can do. Those are ones that I think that you take advantage of right away, because there's a lot of exploits that you can do with the call to arms that will maximize your money and your XP. So take advantage of those immediately. A really important tip is be careful with your horse. If you spend the time and you got the money and you buy yourself a nice horse and you don't have a full stable, take care of your horse, because if that horse die, the game will send you the worst horse known to man for a time period until your horse recovers and you get it back. So make sure you're taking care of your horse. Don't be falling off any cliffs or taking big jumps, because your horse is not invincible. It can die, and if it does, you're gonna get that terrible horse, and you may get it at the worst time when you're trying to fight somebody or you're trying to get away and that horse is trash. So make sure you're taking care of your horse all the time. The next thing you need to do is, before you go into a town, look at the map and get familiar with the things in the town so that you know exactly where you're going. A lot of times when you go into towns, you want to be able to get in and get out, because towns are going to be packed with other players. Like I said, if you're not in the PvP, you could run into problems. So just know where you're going so you can get in, get out, and you won't run into any problems. All right, and last but not least, you want to make sure that you are crafting and cooking when you're at your camp. Cooking is very important because you need to eat. And if you're underweight, it will drain your health core. If you're overweight, it will drain your health core. So you want to make sure that you're eating the appropriate amount so you can stay right in that nice balance of healthy weight opposed to being too skinny or too fat. So crafting is going to be your friend, especially when you're going into call to arms. You're going to need those food items, because they'll heal you while you're in battle. All right, guys. Well, that is it for this video. I hope those are 5 tips. I think those are 5 tips. I just was saying a bunch of tips. So I'm going to make sure I try to get 5 in this video, because I think I said top 5. But that is it, man. Hopefully this video was helpful in some way, shape, or form. And if it was, do me a favor and hit the subscribe button, because I make guide and tip videos all the time. And by hitting the subscribe button, it'll ensure you don't miss the next guide and tip video. That is it, man. Hope it was helpful, especially for all the new players. And like I said, any veteran players that got any tips, drop them in the comment section below so these guys can get off to a great start in Red Dead Online. But that's it, guys. Catch you on the flip side. Hey, Outlaws, if you enjoyed that video, then check out this next video. That's some more Red Dead Online content.